right. Plug it in my laptop.
So what do you guys think about the reading this week?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have so many different tabs open right now. Try to switch in between all of them. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's just go through these questions then. How much time did you say you needed, McCall?
15 minutes, you said.
Like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's try and make this quick then. Yeah, so just going through the questions, just from your personal experiences, what makes an effective team? Effects in that.
So I think from what I read, and really what I think I got out of the reading was that an effective team is a team that's, I think it's very open. It's something that there's a communication and like a bond. And it doesn't necessarily mean like a friendship bond outside of work, but it's just basically like the culture in which this team works in is very open and very, very safe. You can discuss how you feel. You can be open. You can have input. It doesn't mean the team's necessarily efficient, but it gets the best results.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think going back to oh, go ahead, Ellie.
No, you got it. I'll go next.
So last week we talked a lot about like an effective team. I don't remember the guys' names, but like Mary and the other guy, like how they, like Mary just kind of took control in kind of a different way. So I think that's a bad example of an effective team. There just wasn't good communication. I think communication is key, or at least one of the key aspects in an effective team. Just because when everyone's on like the same line, then they're willing to talk to each other, and there's that whole psychological safety, which means you're not afraid to share your thoughts because you're not going to be judged by what your other team members think about what you say. So I think as long as you like understand each other and understand you're not perfect, and that we're all different, have different understandings of things, we can still come to a conclusion on certain aspects.
Yeah, I like that. I think that like the bond of a team is very important, and I think that it's kind of like parenting. I mean, everyone has these certain guidelines that they know that they have to follow in order for everything to work, and like some people are going to slip up here and there, but you have to like keep trying to like have other people's backs and just keep making like the big picture solid, and I think that it's like important that when someone messes up that you don't get like angry with them, rather than encouraging, that you like work that to help grow. And so I think that's important with a team, that you just keep helping one another and that you just keep going with that same goal with each other.
Definitely.
Agreed.
I thought it was very interesting that there were very effective.
Yeah. Did anyone else want to say anything about that? An effective team?
Yeah, I just want to read this note real quick. I also thought an interesting idea about an effective team was I forgot the exact term they used, but it was something about how every member of a team spoke the same amount of time. And like it didn't mean like it was all at once or like they had one moment to talk and then they didn't talk the rest of the time. It was just like throughout the whole day or throughout the whole work process, everyone took about the same amount of time, and like collectively they were able to reach something far greater than like their individual like intelligence, which I thought was really cool. And it just goes back to the fact that like a good team doesn't have to be the smartest people. It just has to be a team that can communicate, can share, and know how to divide up work for what's best for a group. So
definitely.
Yeah, I don't think one person should do more than the other group members. I think it should be an equal effort.
But even
Well,
just
because like,
communicating. What are you saying?
go ahead. No, you're good.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I was just gonna say that sometimes, because I've had to work in groups where it's like, you know, the one guy who is obviously very, very intelligent and everything, and sometimes it gets to be a really hard group because, especially if like you don't understand what the assignment is or something like that, that person gets very exas not I don't know, he gets very like fed up with the group very quickly, and so then it just kind of kills the group dynamic afterwards because no one wants to work with someone who gets frustrated when people don't understand things.
Yeah, I agree with that. So within our, just moving on, within our, like our own B321 group, would you say our norms, like we have good norms like set up? I know we've only met, this is our second time meeting, if we only communicated through like email. So we really haven't built like too good of like,
Friendship.
yeah, friendship, team camaraderie. But no, that definitely takes time. But I think we're at, you know, just only having met, you know, a few weeks. I think we're in a natural kind of place where most teams would start.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's good so far. I missed last week. I was driving to Vegas from Utah, and you have to go through the gorge, so I didn't have service. But besides that, I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row that all you guys are here. I would have if I had service, but I think it's good that like so far we've had really good participation, and it always seems like the conversations are good, and by what everyone puts on their like questionnaires and what they fill out, what we read from one another, and like the feedback so far, it seems like really good, and like everyone's giving good effort. So I think that that's good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I didn't understand when he put like beginning of the week and like the questions, how I only had those 2 discussion questions yesterday. That's what I put. But you guys like had all these questions that we filled out. I was just way confused. But I'll just have to meet with the teacher about that. So it should be good though.
Yeah. Do you think there's any changes that we could make within the team?
What if nobody kind of tries to one up each other in their comments? That's what you just said on the side.
I think. Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't really noticed anything that's like a problem, you know, or whatever. I don't know about you guys, but
are we the same group that has the discussion post for like the reading too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe just we can give more feedback to one another on the posts, on the reading. Really about it. I think when we have our conversations on here, they're really, really good. We get everything done. Like maybe we'll deviate for a little bit, but like it's good conversation. Like it gets something across. It makes a good point. But yeah, I don't know. Just make sure we, read and like really evaluate what was being said or what has been written, and then just really assimilate it and apply it.
Yeah.
Well, and to go along with what you said, I like how in the article it talked about how there was those groups who went on like little deviations all the time, and how those groups turned out to be more productive than the people who just sat down and all they talked about was the business that was at hand. And if there was any sort of deviation, it would immediately be cut off, and they'd get back on topic. And I think that's a good group. If you can sit there, someone jokes a little bit about something and then go right back to focusing on what it is that you guys that everyone was working on, like that's just a good group, period.
I think we get it in ourselves where we need to be like at least in terms of business, be like strict and kind of just stick to the prompt. But yeah, I think it's good to, get to know each other outside of the business aspect by joking around or whatever, telling stories. Yeah, going with the the psychological safety. Like I said earlier, that means not being afraid to share your opinion on something and have the being scared that you'll be judged. So within a team, what do you think helps with that? Like not feeling like you're judged by the other group members.
I think just giving good comments back and good feedback. It really is about like the comments, but also the way that you like give the comments, if that makes sense. Just your approach to how you are approaching others. But I think if you're like being a good person, you're not gonna make like crazy mean comments. So I just think if everyone is just good people, then it should be fine.
Yeah. I know something I struggle with personally, to a certain extent, is caring too much like what other people think about me. And I think some of us have, a little bit of that. Like that kind of sometimes restricts me from like sharing my, true feelings on certain things. So I think, at least for me, if like each group member were to, participate and, share what they think, from my standpoint, I don't judge what you guys say. I don't think you guys do the same for me, but, just because I overthink things a lot, sometimes that's what tends to happen in my own mind, at least.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Yeah. So going off that, I guess, kind of just shared what the next question says. Sharing personal experiences or being vulnerable. How does that influence team dynamics? Getting more on like a personal level. And do you have any personal experiences with that?
I just think it makes people, I think it doesn't like necessarily lighten the mood because it could be like sharing something kind of deep and personal, but it can break, I guess, a lot of like tension between other people if you share more personal things. It just kind of shows that you trust them, and it will make them want to trust you. And so I feel like if you're able to share those personal things and they're able to share personal things with you, they have the trust that they can bring something up in a more business setting about, oh, I think we should decide to do this with the product and or something like this. And it could be like a really, really good idea, but it could be kind of crazy. And they might have not shared it before because they don't have that trust that they can share that without being like judged or ridiculed,
Yeah.
So I can talk in my microphone right now, but one of my classes, we had to go around the room and we had to sing in front of everyone. It was really embarrassing. Like we all suck at singing. But when we did that, we kind of saw each other at their worst in a sense, that like no other comment after that will be as dumb as when I was singing or as dumb as when someone else was singing.
Yeah.
So I really like it. I think and it doesn't have to be like a super personal experience like the guy with his cancer. I think it can just be like a vulnerable moment, however that might be, whether it's personal or whether it's goofy. I think it really breaks down the fact that you get it out and then nothing after that is going to be as dumb or goofy or as concerning as what you just said.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just like showing everyone that they're human, because like it's weird, but we kind of forget that everyone else is human and just like us and prone to mistakes and silliness and whatnot, and then like we immediately kind of like put everyone else up on these like pedestals around us and somehow expect ourselves to like reach that level, and then putting ourselves in like this weird position helps everyone just kind of calm down, get back on the same level, and just realize that we're all normal.
All right, so I have to leave. I'm not entirely sure what it will do if I leave, if it will send it to another person, like the host would to another person.
Yeah.
Are we almost done with the questions though?
Yeah, I think the last
Yeah.
one was, now what can you do individually to make a more effective team? We're gonna just kind of answer that real quick. And
I think if we all just put in like a good effort and we make the effort to be here for these meetings and we make a good effort to give, like what Dallin was saying, like real feedback and comments to one another, and like we just do our part, I think that the semester will go really good. I mean, I think it's all of our first semesters taking this class, so we're all at the same exact page. So I think we just have to keep that in mind and just do our part.
yeah, I think helping each other out is a good thing. Like with McCall, like so my whole YouTube live streaming thing, I just activated it. So I had to wait 24 hours to start a live video. So McCall helping me out. You know, I mean,
That
my
sucks.
life.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good though. I'll figure it out. Yeah, just helping each other out.
Yeah, I could probably like try to get to know Matthew over here, even though he's in my ward. And I think I've been in the same ward as you for what, like 3 semesters now?
I'm pretty sure we have been, yeah.
Like I don't even really know you, so like it's literally what, just probably like across the hallway. So I could start doing that, just
Call him.
Right. Uh-oh.
Okay. To wrap it up, I think one thing that we can really do is like, even if someone says something you don't like, instead of just like being like, oh no, that's a dumb comment, just try and be constructive about it and provide a different viewpoint instead of like arguing in a sense.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
there's
huge one.
ways to defer on stuff without arguing about it.
Mhm.
And I think that really builds, because it's kind of like, I respect you as a person, I just don't like your comment.
Yeah.
But it's not personal. It doesn't make any personal.
Use the Harvard business thing that we did the other week, a little slideshow.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 o'clock next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, and then I'll send Colin. I'll send you the link for this, and then you can post it.
Sweet.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.